Peace. Whew, okay. Finally back at Allah School in Mecca. We got chairs for everybody except the teacher. All right, that's great. Right? Need that. All right, I'm gonna hang out here, wait. I got here a little bit later. A new route for me to get to the school. So now that I have my work set up right, um, I'll be here. I'll be here regularly between the hours of 6 to 8 p.m. every Thursday building. All right. Concentrate your questions. We'll build on whatever. It's been a while. It's been a while because the last 2 weeks have been hectic. So peace, God. Come on, nose. Shit. Oh man. Yo. Man. I've been working on routes all week on how to get here, how to get there. You know what I mean? Everything is new this week. So bear with me. It's been an adjustment the last 2 weeks. That's why I haven't been able to do everything I wanted to. But so now, because of certain moves I'm making that's good, I want to make sure even more so that the time that we build is of a high quality. You know what I'm saying? High quality. That we don't waste time. You know what I'm saying? Right? So any questions that anyone has, I want to hear them. Any builds, anything. What do we have? Builds on today's mathematics. All right, so one thing I didn't remember to bring, though, I brought something else for the school. I bought some magazines for the school, but that may have loaded my weight too much. I couldn't fit anything else in my bag. But I really got to start digitizing a lot of these plus lessons, if you're in the school between these hours or any, I got One World magazine that I'm in with the brother Caesar. He does One World magazine. Had a piece here on Kendrick Lamar's album, but something actually detailed, not that writing session that people do. But so you come and pick that up for free. But here's the thing. If you're in the New York area, you got to get to this class though. Okay. You can't be just hanging out and shit. Staying online and stuff like that. Jarrell, peace to the God. All right, peace to the earth. All right. Not every week, but it's also going to be on the IG. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be IG. All right, and we're going to do this we're going to treat this. I'm going to do my best to treat this like if you walked into my classroom. Okay, so ID ski, you walked into my classroom, right? You said, peace, God. Who are you? Right? Let's introduce ourselves. Let's not be anonymous just because we have the usernames and stuff. Let's people know who we are. You know what I mean? Don't give me that any. And let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a story. Let me tell you a story about this paranoia stuff. You know what I'm saying? I had a class one time. This young man became a very voracious student. You know what I'm saying? Voracious doesn't always mean a good student. Let me put that first. Voracious student, meaning intense student, though. You know, it's like you have a martial arts student and he's punching crazy and stuff, but he's not punching good. But he was voracious though, like he had a lot of vigor. But this was a long time ago, and he walked in. I may have been teaching this for definitely over 15 years, and he walks in, and he starts taking notes and stuff, and all of a sudden there's something he didn't want to write down, like he didn't want to write down the law or something like that. I don't know what it was. I can't remember what it was. It had something to do with Allah or something like that. Definitely the word Allah. And he was like, I'm not right now. I don't want to write down the word Allah because then, you know what I'm saying? Like the government, you know what I'm saying? The government could find me and stuff like that. And they could associate and they're watching and stuff, And I'm saying like, yo, you think that out of all the people here though, you're the one to worry? So your FBI file is huge now because you wrote the word Allah in your notebook. You know what I mean? I got like how many years here? How big is my file? You know what I'm saying? Right? But it reminds me of people want to learn stuff and also not put themselves out there. And I'm telling everyone now, that's the difference between a 5%er and someone that just comes to get the knowledge. And here's the thing about teaching at the Allah School in Mecca. We give the knowledge to everybody. So if you're okay with, if you're okay with just learning about stuff and not really putting yourself out there, you're not really under the 5% banner. You know what I'm saying? And but when you teach at a law school in Mecca, we're supposed to be open for the public, for the people out there. You know what I'm saying? They don't always have. We don't have to know their name. We're a service to the community. You know what I'm saying? But if you're really trying to learn the sincere, know that anything that is truthful, that goes against the status quo and actually aids in our liberation, that you can show and prove aids in our liberation, is something that is going to be denounced. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's going to put you out there, and you're going to have the daring to do that. And for any type of student, I'm saying it now so take notice of what you're doing. Take notice of what you're doing. People talk about the babies are the greatest and stuff, and we're teaching, ideally teenagers, very young men, 19, 20, 21, 22, right? And that type of mettle, it's one of my favorite words though, because this is, if you ain't got this, you ain't got anything. The type of mettle, that's why I spell it though, mettle. The type of mettle that you have is going to define what type of person you are. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between someone who doesn't want to deal with this knowledge because they admit to themselves that it's just too much work. But then there's something else though, where someone knows that it's correct and they don't deal with it because they know that it's going to give them a lot of problems. You see what I'm saying? It's going to give them a lot of problems though. You know what I'm saying? And if I told people the amount of problems that I've had in my life teaching this knowledge though, there'd probably be less students even watching these YouTube videos. You know what I'm saying? I cannot tell you, right? Porque yo soy Boricua, right? I come from Puerto Rican lineage. I can't tell you how many Puerto Ricans, how many so-called Latinos, this could number over the years, like it feels like 100 that have learned this knowledge and have learned it by themselves, covertly with me. You know what I'm saying? Covertly watching, covertly learning bits. You know what I'm saying? And there's a difference though. And I think it helps everyone if you know who you are first. You know what I'm saying? Know what you're going to be about first. Anyway, beyond that rant though, it's putting ID Ski on the hot seat here just to identify himself. But you said you're new to NGE, just discover your channel. Appreciate how you teach your common peace. Let me be a real pain in the ass, though. There's no thing on ID ski. I'm just being a pain in the ass, though, to make this virtual as real as it possible. There's no way that you could prove to me that you come in peace, especially since I don't know your real name or anything you know you're from, or a name that people call you, some information about you. You know what I mean? It could be generic. It doesn't have to be something that IDs you. You know, like IDs you, right? ID ski. You know what I mean? But be very wary. Be very wary about what we say, right? If we say something like this digitally, we say I come in peace, though. How could you prove that? You know what I'm saying? All you can prove is you came anonymously. This is very important. This is very important to understand it. You start teaching, not in just classroom, but you teach in a setting where you're teaching students and people freely come in. You have to know who they are. You have to be ready for who they are. You know what I'm saying? This has been the way it goes. I like to remind people about that. You know, technically, if people are inside this room here, yeah, I could get them to either say something and get going. You know what I'm saying? But I can't really do it on there. But as far as your question, it's not a bad question. So you said, what do you think happened to Fard? All right, let's talk personal first. I don't really give a damn what happened to Fard. You know what I'm saying? I think this. I think in a real aspect, Fard did his duty. And I think that I don't think he disappeared. I think that he gave specific instruction to Elijah on how to build a nation. And I think he didn't just leave and be. I think he maybe stayed watch. If we think about it as realistically as possible, though, which I'm probably going to get some stupid fucking troll in this thing, you know, but you know, a lot of these trolls, they be sticking up for NOI, like beliefs and stuff, and they're not NOI, and they stick up for what this nation represents, though, and I've never seen them do shit, you know, and so when we use our thought process and we try to analyze what happened to Fard, I would hope that it wouldn't be something that you would obsess over, because then it would be search for a mystery god. But if we do a logical thing, some of the things that Elijah did, and say he traveled throughout, you know, he traveled, and the other students were jealous of him. So he kind of was a marked man. I don't know how violent that insinuates, the insinuation of what type of violence that insinuates. Well, I really beat up that sentence right there to get there. But for Elijah Muhammad to then establish something so profound, there needed to be connections. So if Fard left, there was certain a grooming period of the connections. You know what I'm saying? And let's say there's a book. It's out of print, and that's why I forget the name of it, though. You know, sometimes you feel like you should have stole the book and you didn't. But I think it's called An Original Man. It's a biography of Elijah Muhammad, and it's very good. And I think that in that, they discuss some of this idea of Elijah Muhammad having difficulty traveling. You know what I'm saying? Mainly the other students that were jealous that he was that he was the chosen one to learn, and which means this, though, that it wasn't like he chose him and disappeared. It means that he chose him and was teaching him for a while, and then now when it seems ready to let him go, then it's a problem. So I think that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what happened. I think that he was under the wing covertly for a while, you know, launching it off, not necessarily throwing it, but holding the baton, racing with Elijah as he gets off the ground. I also think this. I think that we really underplay. Not underplay. No. We don't really analyze it well, because obviously underplay would be not true, but it's not really analyzed. there's so much credit given to Elijah Muhammad to build this nation, and he deserves all that credit, the Nation of Islam. But it's not really analyzed. It's deified. Like it was destiny. You know what I'm saying? Right? He was Marty McFly. He was gonna, you know what I'm saying, be at the enchantment, at the enchantment of Islam dance, and he was gonna go back to the future and make the Nation of Islam. It was guaranteed. And what's really totally truthful is that it wasn't. There's no guarantee that the people embrace anything that is thrown at them. Anything. You know what I'm saying? How did the Father know that the legions of this great 5% nation of gods and earth would be so big, and that a large part of it though is really music? You know what I'm saying? And there's no way around that. There's no way around that. There are even some superstars here that are contributing to that. But I think that Elijah's gift, I think his speaking gift is not even captured very well on video. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of taken from the angle of like their cult. They're following him just because he actually convinced these people. That's why I tell you, he's the great evangelist of truth. He was evangelizing the truth. And I say that because he wasn't shown and proven completely. He said, yeah, we're the original man, but he didn't show and prove. Like he didn't say, tomorrow I'm going to bring these documents, and if you have things to disagree with these documents scholarly, then you'll get your what was it? He used to offer the money prize, if you actually could disprove him. Forgot what the money prize was. Haven't read these books in a while. Right? But if you're wrong though, you get hot fire and brimstone or something. You know what I'm saying? Right? But yeah. All right, King Kamal. You know what I'm saying? Today's mathematics is wisdom equality. That's right. Wisdom is being a walking example of your knowledge for the babies and those who don't have it. That's equality. Sharing them how mental freedom works to build. Build or strengthen and evolve. Yo, very interesting. I like that term, mental freedom. I don't know. I just like that those words coupled. See that. No, you said far out serve this purpose for whom we need to serve it too, but the knowledge has always been there through different people. Can't we say that the knowledge was here in North America, Noble Drew Ali? Yeah, we could say it on those levels as well. And there was also the same type of struggles after Noble Drew Ali passed in different ways, but struggles of leadership and direction. So this idea was here. You know what I'm saying? But and that's a good seg to further the point I was making. I think because this knowledge was already here, I do say that the format that Fard brought it, Supreme Wisdom, what becomes 120 lessons, is a much more potent, much more, I dare I say, scholarly method than what the Circle 7 Quran was. You know what I'm saying? I think it was much more scholarly written, in that you could study the portions of it, as we've shown and proven over these 50 plus years. But $10,000, of course, Supreme sign, peace, God, of course he would know. You know what I'm saying? From his brother's vest pocket. Yeah 10,000. That's a lot of money back then, man. Shit. You know what, we're the true and living. I'd go in there and show them prove them wrong, though, just so I could get that money. You know what I'm saying? And come in next week with the mystery God. You know what I'm saying? I have him right next to me, though. This is the mystery God, my man Jesus. All right, pay up. You know what I mean? All right, peace, wise prince. All right. I'm not looking. I can barely see these icons though. But is this the Wise Prince that we're gonna build with soon? That I'm gonna build with soon? God, divine justice, peace. All right. What I miss? I don't know. I don't know what you missed. You know what I'm saying? I always tell students when they walk in, they didn't miss anything though, but they've caught everything that they need to catch because this is the time that they got here. You know what I mean? Right? The silk peddlers fresh off the mothership. Yeah. So those that know that's King Kamal in the boot. You know what I mean? Man, he's been challenging me, man. He's been challenging me, you know. And we've been. I tell you something. These songs on this album that we're making, though, well, the covers, oof. But you know, we got MCs here. You know, Kamal, of course. You know, I see Symmetry, Peace of the God. Yeah, see, Powerful. That's an MC right there. Backwoods Sweetie. I don't have any knowledge of that pocket like that. You know what I'm saying? So all I could say is I'll say some shit, you know, that you ain't never heard on a record, you know. You know, hopefully it's entertaining, you know. I know Kamal kept that pocket though. Everybody love pocket grooves. You got that pocket though. Kamal messing with the tones too, man. You know what I'm talking about, the tones. You know. But oh man, I'm just having fun. You know, a lot of people don't forget that if anybody likes anything on this album that me and King Kamal did and are doing, because I still got some left to throw on there. Man, it's all credit to Kamal, man. The production that he, you know, arranged and you know and all that. You know, the way he's you know directed me in the booth. You know what I'm saying? And it's given me as a journalist about this music. It's given me a firsthand experience, embedded me even further from making songs and stuff like that. And I literally understand the making of the music even more. So if I was writing this good before about music, it can only add on, you know. Um, yeah, I think it is gonna be crazy, man. But you've been ill. Come on, crazy. Sam, you said I see today's math is utilizing what you've learned to stabilize the circumstance one finds self dealing with daily, also teaching self of others how to construct a positive way of life nowadays. Exercise for today. It's in the supreme alphabet. Zigzag, zig. You know what I'm saying? Right? It means knowledge, wisdom, understanding. So something goes zigzag, zig. The assignment, though, is to look at things that you do and see how something in life can go zigzag, zig. How something you learn can go one way, travel another way, and garner wisdom for yourself based on that knowledge, and then go back to its origin with a deeper understanding. Though, if you can find a point in your life where you see this evidently happening, then you're actually using these degrees and these mathematical degrees and the supreme alphabet the way they should be. You know what I'm saying? But look for that zigzag zig in moments in your life. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Zigzag zig moment. You know, right? I said I'm doing an album. I'm rippity rapping on the fucking album. You know what I'm saying? And God got me losing the damn breath though, and I'm not doing kung fu. And the shit about it is all that knowledge I learned over the years about music making from so many MCs and stuff. It is ingrained in me, and I've been able to use it in a different way. So it's literally a zigzag zig. I was learning all this so I could write all of these books about the music and give it a history, right? And now it's going back to making something else, and it's showing a deeper understanding that I didn't know was in there. You know what I'm saying? That I never knew was in had those capabilities. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by zigzag zig. You know, Wise Prince. Who do I think is the greatest graffiti artist? That is, I know so many. I don't know art like I do music. Um, and so, but over the years, especially doing the first 100 episodes of my Power Right show, I was at S Street Media with the God Mathematics, who owns and runs S Street Media. And he made a show called Vandal Hour. It's where we met. It's where I was interviewed. And then he knew I could do radio. And I was getting back into radio with DJ Toshi. That was when I was beginning. So it just became another step. And I got further into the podcasting. And the Vandal Hour, hanging out with him and seeing what he's done with the Vandal Hour, which is really a graffiti artist show, and seeing a lot of graffiti artists, meeting a lot of graffiti artists and seeing their perspectives and stuff, just as someone who is just learning about it. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you who I think has the most acumen, because I respect, if I do it like music, I respect the acumen of the founders, meaning those legends that had to have founded certain techniques that are instrumental to what makes graffiti graffiti. You know what I'm saying? And unlike music, in graffiti, I don't really know them all distinctly and the impact of each one. I know a lot of the techniques, but I don't know everyone who made those techniques and to what degrees. You know what I'm saying? I could tell you that in my actual experience in graffiti and what it means socially and in the community, I have the most affinity for Tats Crew, and no particular individual there, Bio, Nicer, BG 183rd, any of those guys. But as hip hop is something for the community, where that next level where the graffiti artist is not invisible to the community. You know, a lot of people don't. They didn't start making murals, but they became legendary for these pieces that are murals and being part of the community. What Tats Crew did is help pioneer how this very rebellious, wonderfully rebellious element that was embraced by hip hop, because it was already done before hip hop. It's embraced. It's really the element that's embraced by hip hop. It's not invented in the canon of hip hop, but it's in the cipher where the other elements develops. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But it's why I have this affinity for Tats Crew. You know what I'm saying? And when I became, it's funny, we did it. Me and Kamal did a song about police brutality, and I talked about one of the first times I ever marched against police brutality, and it was with Tats Crew, among other people, and for the killing of Anthony Baez. That was back in 1994. You know what I'm saying? And what I remember most is going back later in 1995 and how they made an actual, a graffiti presentation. There was a whole arts memoriam, and not just a memorial, but there was a whole thing done for him. And Tats Crew was there, and I interviewed Tats Crew. That's a lost interview. It's not a lost interview. It's lost interview to everybody else, though. But I have it. I have to write that down one day. Like get it off the print. But the graffiti artist is someone that is invisible, being excellent, in complete invisibility and anonymity, except for knowing his name, but not knowing who it's attached to. And that pretty much reigns today. But I find it amazing. I find it another level of excellence that I adhere to, that they made themselves known like that. And they still rip it. They still rip it. They still do stuff that is daring. You know what I'm saying? They did something that is something that you usually don't do, is try to monetize it. And they did. And they did it in a righteous way. I have so much respect, you know what I mean? And admiration for what they've done. The years that they've been at the point, you know what I'm saying? So it's just great. I would have to pick Tats Crew, but I can't say that my insight could say that they're the greatest, though. It's definitely a personal one. Even though I obviously gave it a real a detailed answer. I couldn't say that they were the greatest. You know, like the way I could say that there are absolute GOAT MC candidates and others that are just GOAT candidates. You know what I'm saying? As MCs or producers and etc. With the music. Hope that answers the question. Though. This is a good question. You know what I'm saying? There's so much graffiti that I thought was impeccable that I can't eat. And I don't know who made it. And when you're with gods like GMAT that do the Vandal Hour and stuff, they know everybody who made these things. So if you're in Medina and you go down to Bushwick, where you go to the factory areas, on Metropolitan Avenue and shit, and you see all those murals, they know who did all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And so identifying the artist though is key to being able to know who truly is the greatest if you're gonna have a real educated opinion. And that's what makes graffiti so difficult. You know, I think I picked Task Crew not because they're just great, but because they deliberately made themselves identifiable, and I think it's special. You know, Malik, you said wisdom too is right discernment of the knowledge that bridges the culture, which is our people. Activities which shows our equality through fairness, balance, and equal quality of brother and sisterhood. I see it. Be very careful. Be very careful when you're teaching, especially when you're teaching. So you practice building on this on your own. When you build on the day's mathematics, to actually not include in the build other degrees. Like you had it's wisdom equality today, and you had the word culture in it. And you know what I'm saying? Or the word knowledge instead. Sometimes, like there's a challenge. Can you build on the day's math without even mentioning other degrees? You know what I'm saying? Unless you do it very, very distinctly and very careful, because there's a way to do it though without confusing the young student. You know what I'm saying? Because what we're doing when we build in today's mathematics is we're not separating though the wisdom equality from all the other mathematics. So what we're really doing is we're isolating. We're isolating the build. Well, if you decide to born, in which I bear witness to that as a powerful tool, then now you're coupling the principles and showing how principles couple and how they all unite again. But in essence, it still is an isolation because it's all one. It's all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's all knowledge suborn, always happening, always in the flux. It's never just one thing. You know, um, so So that's important to know. Like there's a way to exercise with that where people don't get confused. You know what I'm saying? He said, Malik, you said, I just looked down at the bottom. You said Spit from Beat Street was impeccable. I don't know about that. Damn. Yeah, Spit. Well, Spit, yeah, but not, yeah. Ramo. Oh my goodness. I was, people love Beat Street, but I hate that they had the main characters as white people playing Puerto Ricans. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. It was annoying as fuck. You know what I mean? Right? The movie would have been much, much better for me. You know what I'm saying? Symmetry. You said okay. Oh, I see you got zigzag Z. Yeah, indeed. You got one direction, other direction, then the C. That's right. That's right. And yeah, and I see the emphasis. That wasn't a very strong part of the bill. Whenever we build with equality, we definitely don't want it to be sameness because that's not what equality is. You know what I'm saying? Right? Equality is balance, though, and to balance things, though, doesn't mean that they all get put to the same, or that they're all given the same level for that, to happen. Right. Yeah, because some of these builds, Malik, they'll work in real time where you're going to be able to show them what you mean, which when you're focusing on the actual the 2 and the 6, right? You know, but there's also a good practice to build on them without mentioning any of the other mathematics, right? It's hard. It's not as easy as it looks. You know? Oh, I know you're just kidding about spit. Damn spit. Right. Okay, what do we have? Now, I don't think it's going to happen today because the God, Minister Freedom, said that he wouldn't be able to do it though. But usually, the way it's going to work is I'm going to the class is going to be streamed on the Instagram too. You know what I'm saying? Okay, all right. Is it me? But this has gotten smaller. The text here. All right. Yo, Sim, you said right in my bill I added a mention of with quality build and on the 40. Hmm. Did I read this too fast? Now I can't find it. Hold on. Oh my goodness. This thing is moving at a snail's pace here. Back when you said, let me know if y'all need some wisdom on the album. My EP is still baking. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. It's subtle, God, but I see it. I see it, God. It's read it again. Come on, you said I didn't say all being born to in my build up top. I just spoke it out. I focus on wisdom, equality, and how it comes out to focusing on building others without mentioning destroy. That's peace, though. That's peace. You know, we want to practice our builds that are for like regular time. You know what I'm saying? Like people right on the street. Like you want to have a build that's complex and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But you also want to have your on the street shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't practice enough on the street shit. You know. That's also one thing I don't think that it's a replacement. I really don't see much of the use in building on the internet. Like a social media build. I agree with a lot of the builds. I don't really disagree with it. I just I just don't know why we would give those answers out like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. That's why you never see me like just build. Hey, today's. I don't always give it out like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, but it can add on though. It can add on though. You know, and of course, social media is where we're just sharing the things that we have to share. You know what I'm saying? And slowly but surely, I would hope that it draws students toward people. You know what I'm saying? But be very weary because people just like to get answers. A lot of people like to get answers. They don't want to give questions. All right, give me a moment here. That's right. That's right. I see 84. You're right. Constructing a positive way of life nowadays. Oh wait, I missed peace self I build. I still have a lot more building stuff I built. Like those questions. Yeah, man, I gotta get back to that though. There's a couple of emails I'm late on from students. So if you're watching and you're like, man, I already contacted me, you know what I'm saying? That's part of it. Press because it's Thursday. So as the weekend comes, that's when I really can have the time to do it though. You know what I'm saying? And and I just the only book that I write that has like a real crunch on it is the Real Of, and that book is out. So the hardest time for me to work on other things, is in December and early January, as far as writing and other stuff. But now I'm a little freer because the books I release now are just gonna be on. They're in my own due time. Make them look nice though, because I need them to be nice. You know. Okay. Self-I build. You said the accumulation of facts assists with moving in a prudent manner. Very interesting. So wisdom is a prudent manner. Interesting. The the balancing equality act of transforming ideas and facts into constructive means of expression is one I deem very vital. It's a good word choice, man. Strong. I like that. I like that. All right, give me a moment. Okay. It's my little girl calling me, so. All right. You said, Sim, you said, yeah, I used to do that, but it got to a point where people became peace, God, too reliant on me doing all the research instead of getting their own 1, 2, 3 knowledge, wisdom, understanding. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, you can. That's the thing. Like, like, I don't know. I just think, like, think about it. Like, sometimes it works. It depends on you have to see, everybody has to see based on their feedback. You know what I'm saying? It's not really judged on the feedback of what I would see as a person scrolling and seeing it. It's the feedback that you're getting. You know what I'm saying? So that's what counts. That's what I'm saying. Just, if you get good feedback, like for people interested or like, oh, okay, I get how that's used, and et cetera, but there's also where family is. Sometimes, you're showing the 85 that this is a viable lifestyle too, and that's important too. So there are benefits to it. I just don't do it though. I just don't do it. When I do stuff like that, people use the answers. So throughout the years teaching, I have to work hard not to get just people memorizing what I say rotely. You know what I mean? Jarrell, you said wisdom, equality, all being born to build and destroy, the application of the balance and coordination of principles in every facet of station and position is a determinant of personal stability. You guys' vocabulary is exceptional, though. Okay, I want you to work on also the street version. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it though is that in the classroom you have the opportunity to give people a very regular worded, simple worded build, and then bring them up. It's something a lot of elders, I'm gonna say older people that had this knowledge, not elders, they used to get on me, and they would walk into my class and they would see me using big words and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't know that I had these students for a long time and that I had built them up so that they could be used to this kind of language. You know what I'm saying? And we have to get our youth used to the idea of being able to speak among many people in many different ways. You know what I'm saying? This is what the Bonnie, he's got. He's got. Likewise, guy. You on? Yeah, I'm on live. Yeah. I'll do it. All right. Um, yeah, I haven't seen the God in a long time, man. I'm gonna be here regularly now, so you know what I mean. Like, we're gonna build this up. This shit has been whacked since COVID and shit like that. I'm not having that shit no more. Yeah. Wise Prince, you said, yeah, backwood sweetie does have the gold flow. Wise Prince, you said, when I deal with zigzag zig, I look at it as the ups and downs of life. Think about a heart monitor. You wanted to go up and down, then up again. That shows what? You're alive. Once something is stagnant, it becomes dead. It starts to decompose. You're never supposed to get caught up in this ag because you're either going down a steep hill or up one. I see it. I see it. And that's why I said the assignment, though, is to think of a specific situation. That's a general description, which is right. But to be exact, like take distinct moments in your life. You know, this is why I tell everybody to write a journal, because we have to be able to look at life and find those distinct moments. You know what I'm saying? And you can find them. You can find them. That's what mathematics is. You actually look at each other. If you don't, if one is not good at looking back at their life to find these distinct moments and applying exactly to the mathematics, to the builds and the degrees, then what happens is that they actually don't see um, how they could write their history in advance, because they don't see how it was just happening. So you gotta see how it's happening, so then you can go forward, and then you see it. You know what I'm saying? Or say love, peace, peace. All right. Same you said, speak, right? Two, wisdom, according to what you understand, another would understand. Equality. Each one teach one according to their knowledge. Gotta really know who you're dealing with and speak their language. Yeah. That's an old Sufic proverb too. You know what I'm saying? That they only speak um to the understanding of the individual. You know? Many of the Sufic orders, taught that principle. You know what I'm saying? Pedagogy was very important to the Sufic orders. The way you taught someone was probably more important than the amount of teachings that they had. That's right. Working on your journal, it is challenging. Oh, that's Peace Wise Prince. I'm glad that you just yeah. That was something I said earlier in the class. I don't know who missed it and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the assignment that I said, right? Yeah, I'm gonna say this though. If you don't have a journal and you don't make it a duty to write certain things, I'm gonna tell you this. You don't know if you're a writer. That's almost a guarantee. If you have understanding that you see as unique to yourself and you can express it very uniquely, meaning that you say, listen, this has a level of dynamic and character and verve and excitement, and you don't write regularly, then you may be a writer that is not writing. And we're gonna have to fix that shit, you know. But we try all the vocations, right? Everybody tries to rap and don't get it all down right. I just said that. Everybody tries to rap, and Infinite Mind, its name pops up in here, right? All the successes. I'm trying to show that not everybody can rap, and then all this, the successful, skilled MCs keep popping up on this shit, right? But yeah, it is importante. Self I build, yeah, definitely, But I think it's important though that if you're getting this, if you're dealing with this knowledge and you're really serious and you're developing ideas, that you should let these ideas couple and catalog them, first of all. You know what I'm saying? But also respect that you may have an ability. Test all the things. We test whether we could play. Every young black man knows if they can hit a ball, shoot a ball, right? Or run with the ball. They've all tested that. You know what I'm saying? We've tested that. We could test every type of ball there is: football, baseball, basketball. We all tested if we could throw it. You know what I'm saying? We've tested if we could sing. We tested if we could really dance. We tested if we could really, you know what I'm saying, do anything in the arts level. But simply just right is a different kind of test. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying kind of test, and I'm a writer and everything, but I was forced to write by my old earth. I was not doing any of that shit. She made me write though. And until I was in maybe no, the beginnings of college, I didn't read anything um, voluntarily unless it was a sports magazine. It's crazy. I didn't read anything about. I read almost nothing voluntarily that was not a sports magazine. You know, it's how much I read. You know how little I read. It was I was in college when I found out that there were magazines about hip hop music. Didn't know that. That's how much. That's how little I read. Things beyond school. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know I had that gift. I thought it was just a skill that allowed me to get good grades. You know what I'm saying? Right? Infinite Mind, you said zigzag zig is back and forward motion because although the fastest way between 2 points of destination is a straight line, we know and understand that life is about zigzagging back and forward and finding your way. Yeah, that's the assignment, Infinite Mind. I had said to the students, I said, think of an actual particular. This is personal. an actual situation where the balance was zigzag zig, where you literally went zigzag zig, a particular situation. So I want people to see the degrees. I want to see the mathematics, though, in particular situations in their life, and that's why the journal is coming up in the topic, because when you're writing in that journal, you could see if this is really happening like that. You know? Safi Bill, you said journaling is also. Oh wait, let me go back. Sim, you said gentle reminder to tap like as you enter the sea. Okay. Let's get the God session pushed up. This algorithm. That's peace. Infinite mind. You said 7 is 3 lines from bottom to top and top to bottom, lowest to higher, reverse, 2 parallel lines connected by a bridge. Zigzag zig is 2 zigs, 1 zag because the zigs are one and the same. Yep. That's 100%. 100%. Self-ability said journaling is also another means of dealing with oneself face to face. The good, bad, and the ugly gets revealed when one is honest with it. That's right. I say that all the time, though. You know what I'm saying? You know, you could lie to other people when you tell the story, though. But in real life, though, when you were talking to that girl, spit popped out of your face and hit that girl's face as you just was about to get that number, and it all went downhill from there. You know, these things happen, though. And there's stories that need to be told in your journal. You know? Infinite mind. You said I always think supreme math is in threes when we understand the culture. That's right. 1, 2, 3 mind, 4, 5, 6 physical. That's right. Essence. Okay. Connects them to one another. Right. 4, 5, 6 body, spirit. Right. Connects them all to each other. That's right, God. That's the build. Right. I've been teaching that for years. The inner, right. The outer and the fruit. Right. The 1, 2, 3 inner. The 4, 5, 6 outer, and the 7, 8, 9. The fruit, right? The fruit of it all. I like those other words used though. Mind, physical, essence. Yeah. King, come on. You said as a writer, my issue is I get in the zone writing and then I find myself going back and typing it out. I be carrying too much out looks. No. You know, I get this from, you know, I know Infinite Mind sees me here, but I get this from Kung Fu, but the calligraphy of the way the words look, it's important. You know what I'm saying? It's important. I have horrible handwriting, but as I'm writing in my journal, I actually try to write it nice, though. It just doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't always come out, you know? Well, perfectly said. The inner working of the mind, right? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, principles of application, culture, power, equality, essence of bearing righteous fruits, God build born, cipher the whole, micro, meso, and macro. I see. Yeah. This is tough. This is the tough stuff. I don't know why I'm getting stuck here for some reason. Queen Essence, peace. It seems like a first time, or first time I see you in the chat. Let me know any questions I can answer. Anything you'd like me to build on. Back when you said free writing every morning has helped me immensely, not worrying about what I'm saying, free of judgment. You know who used to always tell me to have my students do that? Was Sean Price. You know, we didn't build on music at all, at all. But he used to always tell me, get your students to write whatever comes to their head and just throw it down. He used to always tell me that though. Yeah, he said then I go back and reflect on the best parts. Yeah, that's a good way to do it though. You know, when I write in my journal, a lot of times when it's really good or I could use it outside of that journal, the margins are where I draw squiggly lines. So when I go through the book, you know, that's where the nice stuff is. You know what I'm saying? That nice shit. You know, stuff that you could use. You know. All right, it's January though. So how is everybody's month going though? Like we, you know, this is if I right. I mean, we still have this is the last full week, so everybody should have had. This is the end of the first 4 weeks, complete 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So how strong are people building? You know, like we know all that shit about the New Year is not the New Year, blah blah blah, shit like that, right? But in these winter months, though, is where you start building anew. You know, right? Are we training? Right? You know, are we the things that we want to do? Are we doing them? Do we find a way to do them? You know what I'm saying? You know, even with the demands of work, we all work jobs, we all do this, we deal with our family and stuff like that. There's got to be ways that we build. You know what I'm saying? There's got to be ways that we build. You know? Divine understanding. You said to add on to zigzag zig. My relationship with my son started out with me providing. As he grew, he was able to then provide for himself. Now we both have the ability to grow and learn together. This is beautiful. That's beautiful, right? That's the son of man too, right? The man, the son of man becomes a man, right? Divine understanding. He has a son. You know what I mean? Now that son grows to be a man. You know what I mean? It's that whole flow. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful. You know, this it went back to go forward, and that's the depth of the cipher, and that's why perfection, I say, is not a constant elevation that is linear, but one of depth. You know what I'm saying? Right? Come on, you said you've been working and focused on this out very, very well. I might add, and recently getting over this COVID. That's right, God. That's right. Now you have to use this added immunity and fortify the body with the mentality that you have an immunity. I still have other things to share with you, God. There's a lot of resources about COVID, what to do after, how to get yourself stronger, you know what I'm saying? And how to really, really, continue forward. You know what I'm saying? Um, it is my absolute recommendation that anybody dealing with worried about all these germs, get yourself stronger though. And if you're thinking about these boosters, you're thinking wrong. Okay. All right. These boosters have killed thousands by the government's own count, has killed thousands. Right. And there's so much proof that was even before all this happened. Right. As this was going along. And it should have been just like my cue immediately was like, wait a minute. Bill Gates is saying, once Bill Gates says something, then genocide is approaching. Okay. Right. Right. Definitely be patient, Malik. Be patient, Malik. Be patient though. One of the ways to be patient, I find though, is to redirect that patience to do every single thing that you know how to do well and do it even better. I see God. You said peace, peace. Okay. Anything that you would like to ask, comment, please. Wow, that's something, Kama Islamic. Just sudden like that. See, the thing is, though, there are these clots that are forming in people. Okay. And they have a rubbery texture. You know, I could find all this research for you though. There's so much research I hear about every day. You know what I'm saying? And they admit it now, and they say it's no big deal that it causes myocarditis. But myocarditis is not something that goes away. That is damage to the heart. You know what I mean? And that's what's happening. But this is what happens when you put a something that affects the RNA. The RNA is what speaks to the DNA. You know what I'm saying? So this is important. Well, that's P.E.A.C.E, say. I never heard of that bit. Mucusless diet success system. That sounds very Sebi-ish. Every time you hear the mucus thing, and right. Just remember that sudden adult death syndrome. That's a new term. That's a new made-up term. Peace. Everything is peace. That's a new term. Okay, adults of certain ages aren't supposed to just die. You know what I'm saying? They make terms for things to make it sound okay. You know, but if you do your research and you see how many athletes across the world, soccer, all of these things throughout the world have collapsed, you know what I'm saying? It is a very rare occurrence happening regularly. And the only new variable is the boosters, is the COVID vaccine. So it's something to look at. And I hear these stories all the time. All the time. That's unfortunate. Yeah. People are waking up. And again, all of this proof being here since before the vaccines were being pitched and forced on us. All of this was before. That's why I said the real Anthony Fauci. I know stuff. I tapped into that book. It's a long book. It's a huge book, and it's just one funny. Richard Fleming wrote a book. There's so many authors. What's his name? There's another doctor. Peter Breggin wrote a book, COVID-19 and the Predators. Peter McCullough by May of 2020, Peter McCullough, right? The most cited doctor in PubMed, the most cited cardiologist in the history of PubMed, right? Has more papers published than anyone ever as a cardiologist, though. He was already with a protocol to fight COVID successfully. And these are the things that were shut down because an emergency authorization cannot be given to a vaccine if there is other proven methods that can be used. But these methods were off-label drugs like ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, right? And they said this is bullshit. We also know we're on some bullshit. I know I'm going through this because a lot of people don't really know. But certain doctors, we were getting PCR tests. PCR tests are not diagnostic. They just magnify things. They don't tell you what's living. When they're magnified too much, that means the cycles are too high. When they're past 30, past really 25, you're magnifying and identifying anything, including things that are already dead within the body that are not active. You know what I'm saying? And you're doing this in the nose. So you're identifying inactive agents that just are in the nose. You know what I mean? And telling people that they have COVID. And the inventor of the PCR test that everybody was taking, his name is Kerry Mullins. He returned to the essence though, like a little bit before the pandemic, 2019. He won the Nobel Prize for this though, and he already was hating on Fauci because Fauci had done this devilishment already with AIDS and AZT. And he said that this is not a diagnostic test. It shouldn't be used as that. And they did it again. They used PCR as that. You know what I'm saying? The antigen test that everybody takes now, that's what they should have been pulling out from the beginning, but they didn't. These are all the things that were happening though. You know what I'm saying? And people didn't care to do the knowledge. And I was around many people that just literally didn't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter that Sunez has been right about diet for over a quarter century in this motherfucker, right? But that's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah, I agree with that, Sim. What the boost is doing, yeah. See, it's not a real vaccine. A real vaccine is something that is supposed to. All right, in general, a vaccine is like a good weapon made by the wrong person and shot by the person that should never should be shooting anything at you. It's like giving guns. It's like your enemy having a gun. There's nothing wrong with the gun. But once they have it, I don't know what they'll do with it and how they'll use it and what the gun might even become. That's literally a vaccine, because most of the vaccines that are out there are basically filled with just slop. You know what I mean? Feces and mercury and just any old combination of junk to just put in you. And they have nothing to do with the idea of a morsel, a tiny morsel of that said virus they'll put in you. Flu vaccines every year, those are guesswork, because they don't know what strain it is. It's not like the weather where they would know. And you're getting all this mutagens and foul shit in your body. So it is affecting people. It has affected the youth. And we would already look at vaccines negatively if you knew about in 1986, the Vaccine Act from put through by President Reagan, Super Devil, Hall of Fame. And that allows all the vaccine companies that make them to be not liable. So you can't sue a vaccine company if you have damages. Is that the type of stuff that you want to use? You want to put stuff in your body that you have no guarantee. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This is what we have. This is what vaccines been. And so it was all hook, line, and sinker once we had the COVID vaccines. You know? Yeah. You know, certain people are in the Hall of Fame. Reagan's in the Hall of Fame. You know, he's a super devil. You know, he's a regular devil, though, but he's a super devil. But you know, that's important, though. You know what I'm saying? It's important. You know, but I say all this to say that if you took the vaccines, you know what I'm saying, and the boosters, 1, 2, or whatever, there's a lot that you can do to strengthen the body in a specific way. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say it's very important to be honest with yourself, even if you want, you know, my add-ons and stuff, to be honest and say, listen, you know, what do I do? I took these and I want to know, you know what I'm saying? What to do? What should I do? There's a lot that you can do, you know, and I'm collecting resources. I just haven't had the time to collect the resources, and a lot of the resources that I get are updated all the time. You know what I'm saying? Divine Seven, you said, what's my favorite Kung Fu style? That would be like the Wu-Tang skit. Never teach the Wu-Tang. You know what I mean? That's a fighting style. Why would I tell you my favorite fighting style? You know what I'm saying? If you see any main training, though, then you already know. You know what I'm saying? And you already know. But what I was taught was Bianxing, right? The Infinite Mind. We were taught by Siegel and Bobby Whitaker to learn what we learn, though, and do it our own unique way, and have it be very viable and immediately adaptable and creative. So, you know, it's got. I love Wing Chun. I love many of the animal styles. That, you know what I'm saying? Hungar. I love Hungar. You know what I mean? So I want to say that what my favorite style is, you know. I'm the Iron Butterfly. That's my favorite style. Me. The way I move. You know what I'm saying? Because the way I move is the most effective way to keep me alive. I can't move like Jackie Chan. I can't move like Donnie Yen. You know? So. But I would think that this learning of styles would be never ending. Because even if there's a style that wouldn't be suitable for me, I still learn a lot seeing someone else do it. You know, so you know. What is the Peace Course? In 2000, the year 2000, Day Sun, right, brought me to the school in 1999. By the end of 1999, I had the knowledge of self. I had 120. Okay, Queen Essence, right? And he wanted to make a class that I could that he knew I would teach that would be very revolutionary, be built to build revolution and to kind of get our talents. We're writers and put them out there. And so he developed a peace course, political education and civilization enrichment. Political education, how to deal with the outside world as revolutionaries, fighting oppression, and civilization enrichment, the science of everything in life as we know it. And this 120 mathematics supreme, all of this stuff that we know, the supreme understanding that we know, and sharing it to whoever is walking into this classroom. That's what it was. That's what it is. And so the peace course, I started teaching it in April of 2000. In April of 2000. Okay. And I have taught it here every Thursday since. I've been here nearly every Thursday. There was only a lot of breaks during the last 3 years of COVID and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And honestly, this is like one of the first classes where like there's a consistency back at this school. And it's going to rain from now on. So, right? From 6 to 8 p.m. now. And now that the add-on during COVID, though, was to teach it online as well. So now I share it online and share it here. But the idea is to develop the abilities of the student using the skills that I know as a teaching point and a teaching platform to give you forms to develop your own skills, your talents, as you get this knowledge of stuff. It's not enough for me to have you finish the class or to feel you finish the class. It's not really never ending. I don't stop teaching. There's not stuff for you to learn. And certainly stuff always for me to learn. But I don't want you to learn why you're the creator, why you're the essence of creation as the queen, as the earth, if you're not developing your talents of how to create and how to build and delving into different ways of learning how to do different things, becoming a better reader, a better writer, even trying writing, you know what I'm saying? Trying the martial arts, all of these things that I can offer to the student, so, right? Dr. Robert Malone, one of the inventors of the actual mRNA vaccine, synthetic genetic therapy, and then realized that it wasn't right and exact, and has been campaigning and has been shadow banned and has been exiled, has been all types of things, right, throughout the years, and the things that he has said, including his his notes and his particular orations against the children getting this, are profound. So you have the inventor of this thing saying it's not right and exact. You have the most cited cardiologist who already had a way to deal with COVID that was not harmful to the body, right? And already knew that the COVID vaccines were not right. You have countless doctors. Dr. Richard Fleming wrote a book. Dr. Peter Breggin wrote a book. I have a whole bunch. I have a lot of books. You have Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who wrote The Real Anthony Fauci, over 2,000 references, an 800-page book, you know what I'm saying, that went through all of that. God, I read all of this stuff, you know what I'm saying? I had all this stuff. I was showing my family this stuff. And as expected, no one listened. You know what I'm saying? In fact, to this day, though, I'm not getting any apologies, though. You know what I'm saying? I haven't gotten oh, shit, you were right about this. No, that. You know why? Because TV still says I watch Hulu and I watch Abbott Elementary and I watch my Golden Girls on Hulu. And in the commercials, they're going to keep telling me to get boosters and shit like that. I'm trying to fucking laugh with my Golden Girls. You know what I mean? And they still got to keep up with these damn boosters. And you know what's funny? To make this, they said when you have COVID, you go back home and you stay home until your lips are blue and you go to the doctor. Right? That's what they said, which goes against the entire Hippocratic Oath of medicine. In Hippocratic Oath of medicine, you do whatever you can to help the patient at that moment. You don't say, listen, there's no such thing as a hospital that says, you know what, you can infect me. You got to go home though, because you can get me sick. It's not the way it works. It has never worked that way. You know what I'm saying? Right? I haven't seen the dying suddenly doc, but I've heard of it. I've seen a lot of clips and a lot of documentation. That's why I didn't even. Honestly, I didn't want to see it. You know, I probably will see it, but I didn't want to see it. But for those that know and that have been following this class, especially the online, I was saying this for a long time. I've been saying this. I started to do the series about COVID on the 5% media site, and I stopped doing it because I didn't have the time to make actual money. Right? A lot of people don't know during the COVID years, my primary source of income was my books. You know what I'm saying? And those books had to be either marketed or new ones made, and that's why I published so many books. You know what I'm saying? And writing those pieces about COVID and stuff like that was going on deaf ears. You know what I'm saying? And it's a shame. It's a shame. Yeah, patient-based care versus the catering to pharmaceutical industry. That's exactly what it is. You know, it's funny that people really will believe that big pharma has their best interest, though. You know, we know that talc and talcum powder is you know, and baby powders and all that is completely toxic, though. But Johnson and Johnson is still good. You know, all of these companies like Pfizer and all of them, they have been egregious. Had to pay millions of dollars off of so many different drugs, and we still believe them when they come up with another drug. You know, right? Yeah. Instead, we're the conspiracy theory. Yeah, foil hat. Well, yeah. I had the foil hat, polo foil hat. You know, right? Oh, you're not. He just knows about fucking, you know, fucking rap songs and shit like that. He just knows what he's talking about. You know. I'll give you quotes from family members. I said, you know, I got COVID for one day with the diet that I have, with the way I live. I had it for one day, a fever. Right, one night, one whole day. After that, it was all the mend, and it happened from Friday into Saturday, and by Monday, I was training again. You know what I'm saying? By Monday, I was training again, and you know what? I said I was still expected to get the vaccine finally, and I said I literally have immunity now. He said, that's all you're going to use, your immune system? You know what I'm saying? That's all you're going to use, your immune system. Ain't that some bullshit? We've gone so far that we don't even respect our body. And, you know, there's something that's detailed in the Real Anthony Fauci book, this idea of the shift between the mentality, you know, the mentality of treating the person or treating the person's body to become stronger versus fighting the germ. And it pays more to fight germs because you can't see them. So you're always in the mystery, like, let's fight this germ, that germ, this germ. You know what I'm saying? Instead of having the two things that fight the germs the best, a powerful immune system and excellent hygiene. You develop your body stronger and you clean shit up. And that's what makes everything, you know, much more powerful. You know, all of these bubonic plagues, though, what used to happen in Europe because they didn't have hygiene. You know what I'm saying? And if you think of a virus, though, having rain in the New York City, though, this city is disgusting. It's disgusting. You know what I mean? It smells like shit all the time. Seriously. I'm telling you, man. Right? I should just walk around and put incense sticks on my book bag. Like, just walk around with incense sticks burning on my book bag. You know what I mean? But anyway, right? The pin the pin puncture series. You know what I mean? That's P.E.A.C.E, God. I'm glad that it helped you. You know what I'm saying? I could have wrote so much more. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't know. Like, while this was all happening, I'm writing these things, but I'm also being rejected for jobs because I'm not vaccinated. And it happened throughout the entire 2021 and most of 2022. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I have a really, I have a good job now, but that was it. That was the difficulty. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Wait, shit. Walking around, you know what I'm saying? With all types of shit burning on my book bag, out of my bag. Everything. Sage, you do the spray, everything. You know? Yo, I was on the L train, man, coming here, and I was like, I was literally smelling two different types of funk at the same time. And I was like, yo, this is like intriguingly disgusting. I couldn't, it's unbelievable, man. You know what I'm saying? Just must, man. I'm laughing down with that shit, yeah. Sam, you said not to mention all the young and seemingly healthy athletes suffering heart problems suddenly all over the world. Yeah. The football player that got that, the Buffalo Bills player, that usually doesn't happen on that type of hit. And he wasn't even hit square on that heart area like that. That usually happens though, if in the research, that happens with baseballs that have hit people on the chest straight up. So we're talking about like a 90-mile-per-hour ball getting hit on the chest straight up like that, because it has to hit directly on the heart and mess with it like that, and so the possibility that it was that isn't as obvious as they're saying it is. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't even, and they're not going to check to see if it was, if it was anything else. If you said, but they continue daily teaching 85, the LDC in here comes from that mystery God and mystery devil. That's right. That's right, God. They double down. They keep doubling down. Sam, you said it happened to my physical cousin in England on the soccer field, just running around like he was 22, just running. Wow. That's terrible, man. That's terrible. And the survival rate for the children all the way up to like 20, 30-year olds is in the 99 percentile of survival rate. Like, this is not killing anybody, Say that, yeah, sage is antimicrobial and antibacterial. Yeah, it's the thing is, I'm gonna run out by the time I get home. I live in Staten Island now. That's a lot of damn sage I gotta be using now. I'm gonna run out. You know what I mean? But listen, though, I'm gonna be here regularly. So if you're in the New York City area, though, I definitely want you to come here. You need to come here. I'm here now. Come and build. And during this 6 to 8 o'clock hours on Thursday, I will be here and I will stream. If I stream late, it's because I got here late. But usually it's going to be because I'm particularly discussing something particular with the student. But I will be on here, and there'll be some regularity too with the God Minister Freedom, who runs the 5% Connection IG page. He'll be streaming it there as well on a lot of the sessions too, so we get it out there, get more people. You know what I'm saying? But as we go along and have very specific lessons, at least a little bit will be specific builds, specific lessons plus lessons of mine, specific ideas that I want to share and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? All I had today specifically that I really wanted to say was that zigzag zig homework assignment, but it's a homework assignment I don't want handed in. I wanted something to be that you do it yourself and see the point. Okay, because this is the concept of how to build. You know what I'm saying? Right. So in these last, about 10 minutes, though, I'll have everybody answer questions. Answer anybody's question that has it. Because then when I'll get ready to go. School looks beautiful too, man. They painted it nice and everything. This needs fixing up. When it's complete, it's gonna look great. You know what I mean? It's gonna look great. You know? Thank you, Earth, for emailing me those materials. I'll be doing analysis of them this weekend. Definitely. Definitely. What suggestions do you have for those who already took the shot? What can be done? There are some protocols that doctors have made that are in line with the way I deal with stuff, but I don't have them like available in my head and stuff like that. Also, um, there's some other detox methods though, but the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you don't get it again. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that your vitamin D levels are high. You want to make sure that you have vitamin C and zinc. You know what I'm saying? Vitamin C throughout the day. Make it small portions and build up. It's water soluble, so you want to keep adding on throughout the day, right? You want to have your B complex. So you want to have those major nutrients, right? The B complex, the C, B complex 100. That's a list of B complex vitamins, okay? You want to have your vitamin C daily throughout. Use the powder. You want to have your vitamin D, get it liquid. Vitamin Shop has those too, by the way. The vitamin C, D, and the B as well. They have vegan versions, so you look it up. Some of them are vegan, some are not. Get the vegan ones. D is easier with liquid. To me, everything about detox to me is about the chlorophyll. And get some chlorophyll in your system. You know what I'm saying? Right? But there's also other methods too, because some people have long COVID, you know what I'm saying? And they just don't get back up to it. And that's why I have to get the distinct protocols. A lot of my protocols were built for myself because I didn't take the shot. I would never, I never thought about even taking the shot anyway. Because even when they were saying vaccine, I was like, I don't need no vaccine. If I can't deal with it myself, I don't need your help. You know what I'm saying? I don't need your fucking help. You know? But yeah, I have to get those protocols and stuff like that because there was someone that had a good webinar seminar, but I don't know if it's available yet because I couldn't at the time. I couldn't get to the web seminar. You know what I'm saying? But and watch it and stuff. But I want to see if they make it available because that's exactly what I needed to watch. There's also some other doctors. I think what's his name? Oh man. I know who Joseph Mercola, Dr. Joseph Mercola had one of the very first books about COVID and also, about how this was really based on a gain of function gain of function virus. For those that don't know, gain of function is when a virus is being manipulated to actually be more destructive, right? Which was actually deemed illegal, but that's why Fauci took it and went to China with it. So that they say, we don't have. I haven't seen definitive proof that the vaccine was written, that the COVID was released deliberately. Okay, but everything else after that though was very well planned. They planned for this just such occasion. You know, watch the water. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yeah, you know, but yeah, those should help though. But I'm gonna come with that. I'm gonna look for that too. That webinar. I know exactly where it is. This one, it's not available yet, so that's why I don't know when it's gonna. I don't know when it's gonna be available. So that's why. All right, but Peace, Queen Essence. Young Legends. What does it say? Mafia Peace. Hood Health Handbook. Okay. Absolutely. Bamboo Twigs. Okay. That's a name, but I don't. Okay. Well, you're here. You're here late though. You can catch us on the rewatch or rewind, however you do it. Um, but if you're anyone that is interested to get more information about build, if you're in the New York City area though, and just want to make sure you come here, I'm here. I'm going to be very regular now. So, all right. So definitely let me know. All right. All right. All right. If there's not anything else, I'm gonna let you all go. We'll start building. Okay. I want people to, you know, to definitely add on. If you want to know what this class is and how long I've been teaching stuff, that information I gave earlier because Queen Essence asked a very important question, and we'll build. So, self-I-Build, you said 5, 10 years from now, how do you see this COVID topic looking? You think more cases of buyer's remorse or people putting pieces together? No, I see the opposite. I see that more they're going to try to this is a pathway to transhumanism, and it's a pathway to getting this genetic material into people, this synthetic genetic material into people, and getting people used to the idea of having stuff like this inside the body that could relegate and designate us, because the more you can read of the body, the more you can algorithm the body, the more you can control the people. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't. You can only think of a worst case scenario with this. Not a good one. People don't like to admit that they're wrong, though. That's why they never get right. Everybody that's right and exact, though, they spend all day knowing what they're wrong with. That's a secret. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that algorithm. Yeah. Transhumanism. Yeah. Next week, if we don't find, I'll send you some stuff about it and stuff. But it's this is all with the World Economic Forum, and mind you, people think it's not a conspiracy and stuff. Then why did Klaus Schwab, who runs the World Economic Forum and runs all this shit with Bill Gates and all that, and all these vaccines and everything, right? Which have absolutely been proven the vaccines Bill Gates has used in Africa to actually genocide our original people out there. And Klaus Schwab in 2020, just a little bit after the pandemic started, published The Great Reset. All right, read that. I have that book, right? So, telling conspiracies though, but they're publishing books telling you what they want to do. You know what I mean? All right, it's all part of that, right? And on that wonderful, crispy, exciting, incredible note, though, it all remind us though that we're not just people with knowledge of self, though. We're warriors out here. So we better war on. Get sharper. All right? Learn to enjoy life as a warrior. All right? With that, I'm going to say peace. Peace.